Traveling through Missouri on their way to Wyoming, Joel and Ellie take a shortcut through the ruins of Kansas City when they get ambushed by bandits. Joel kills two of them, but a third manages to overpower and nearly strangle him to death before Ellie saves him by shooting the man with her gun. More bandits, led by Kathleen, find the bodies. Kathleen, believing that Joel and Ellie are in contact with a man named Henry she is hunting, orders a manhunt. Kathleen's second in command, Perry, finds evidence of infected burrowing their way into the city, but Kathleen orders him to conceal it until they find Henry. Joel finds a high rise where he and Ellie decide to sleep for the night until they can scout a way out of Kansas City. They wake up to find Henry and his brother, Sam, holding them at gunpoint. Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and that is the synopsis of Please Hold to My Hand, which is the name of the fourth episode of season 1 of The Last of Us. And that Please Hold to My Hand, that title is, words that are in the lyrics to the song by Hank Williams, a song called Alone and Forsaken. And that's what I know. It's just like with the long time, that was the Linda Ronstadt, the song of the title of her song that was featured in the last episode. But this episode really was, character driven. We saw another focus on characters. There was some action there. There was some little skirmishes there between Joel and these two bandits who were led by Kathleen. And the guy Perry, who you find out because you get to see the inside the episode after this episode's done. You always give you a little sneak peek into it. They talk about it. And the guy Perry, the actor that played him, actually voiced Tommy in the video games. That's what is really good about this show, is that what they always do is that they're able to really still connect the two worlds together, the video game and the TV show versions. So they get guys that did voices in there. They did this ways of trying to connected, but then at the same time they're making changes. But I don't think it really bothers anybody. If they're bothered, then that's just them, because they even mentioned that in this they're how they're going to Kansas City. They're here in Kansas City, on their way to Wyoming, but in the video game they're heading towards Pittsburgh. And if I heard it correctly, I don't know if that's the ultimate where they're going, or was Kansas City substituted for Pittsburgh? I really couldn't. I didn't catch it right when I watched it. I didn't catch it there, but this is part of the changes that they make. But they stay true to the video game in feel, and some things are like it, and some things they have to kind of film it different point of view. You had what do you call it, Frank and Bill, and it's like Frank was already dead in the video game, but here they wanted to show a longer, more story driven introduction. Really show that where he comes from and how they met, and the possibility that because you don't know in the video game, but in here they showed that this is how they met, fell in love. And yeah, he died differently, but it's just their way of trying to make it interesting. Especially I'm pretty sure they're trying to attract the interest of those who aren't really familiar with the video game. I could put myself in that category too, even though I did play the game, but I didn't play it long enough. And That's why I like this video game because this video game. This is a TV show. Even though you didn't watch the video game, play the video game, I'm saying I'm trying to say oh, watch the video game. Then I'm saying play the series. You know what I mean. But it kind of lets me and it lets others know who aren't really very familiar with the video game to be able to be invested in this TV show. Joel in this one he does talk a little more about Tommy. Talks about his history, what Tommy did. I mean, straight out of high school, he goes to into the army. He ends up fighting in Desert Storm, and then Marlene, who is the leader of the Fireflies, convinces him to join them, and all Joel can say is that he's just always trying to save the world. He did that when he went into the military, and he's doing that with the Fireflies because the Fireflies are pretty much fighting against Fedra. And you see with the little bit that we saw him first episode, we see that Tommy is somebody who's very very passionate about being somebody like that Joel explained him as. He wants to save the world. He wants to be a good guy. He wants to fight the evil. And then now supposedly they are in Wyoming. That's where his last coordinates or something. Joel is taking Ellie with him. And I gotta say, this episode was really funny. I love the what I call it, the book that she had, and it was like puns and saying stuff like that. The last one she did where it was like, that diarrhea is hereditary, and then she goes, the answer to that is because it's in your genes. Other ones were funny too. There was some really really good puns, and she's trying to do that. She's trying to kind of crack him up, break him, and make him laugh. He's always serious, right? And then that diarrhea one, they're doing that, and Joel is like holding back. He doesn't want to laugh. I'm not gonna laugh, And then all of a sudden, he just burst out laughing, and that was really a real good moment there. Feel good. And then of course, they get woken up. She said, Joel, he wakes up and there's a gun behind her head, and then he looks up and there's a kid with a gun to his, and he just does this. And then episode ends. I guess that's Sam, and then Henry is his father. I didn't even know who Sam or Henry was. They were saying that throughout the episode, especially when Perry and Kathleen were looking for whoever is responsible for killing off that one guy, Brian. He was the only one that got a name. He's the one that Ellie, shot, and then Joel finished him off. And the other two, they killed off the one guy, and Joel was spot on, man. He said, Ellie's like, are we going to stop? Because he was like going, oh, please, stop, help, stop. He knew it was a setup because he was on that side. He was on the side of people that did that. So he had a sense. He goes, no, we're not going to stop for this guy. And then it ends up that these dudes are shooting at him. And I like when the first guy, the one that was trying to bait him in, acting like he's a victim. And then when he gets shot and killed, the other guy goes, you mother, and he's yelling at him like as if you shot my guy. And of course, he's going to shoot back because you're shooting at Joel. What do you expect Joel to do? He's got to take out the threat there, or at least make the odds, the numbers even. Killed off one guy, it's just 1-on-1. And when that guy came in after he told Ellie to go into a little hole that only she could fit in, and he kills that guy. It's off screen, meaning it's on the other side of the wall, and Ellie's there, and then that guy got shot. A loud thud, boom. And then the other guy is begging for his life. That Brian guy, after he nearly damn near chokes Joel to death. And then Ellie's able to shoot him, and then he's begging for his life. Who cares? Because the guy, he was out to kill Joel, so they're not going to show any mercy. And then look what happened. Now, what do I think about Kathleen? She's very, very, at times soft-spoken. She's not very boisterous. She's not very, take charge. I mean, she does take charge, but it's like she's very just matter of fact. She talks to you. She tells you what needs to be done. She raised her voice a little bit when it came to finding those responsible for killing their people. And that's what they are. All these people. They're not vicious vigilantes. They're not the kind of things you see like in The Walking Dead, where the groups are all just ruthless and they're all like this, you know. And that's what even Joel said. They're just people. Like, they're not dangerous in the sense that they're not threatening, but they are a threat, right? But Kathleen, she's like someone who is very charming. You can see that she had to have a reason. There's a reason why she's able to control all these people to make them follow her, and she's appointed a leader. Decisions she makes, Perry knows that there's a network of infected that are burrowing underground, and you even see the ground kind of moving, and then he's like, we need to tell people, and she's like, no, wait, we're gonna wait on this. I was wondering what that was when I saw that, and I remember watching the episode, and I'm like fast forwarding, I'm like rewinding it just a little bit, and I saw that, and I'm going, what is that? And then they mentioned it in the inside the episode, and I'm going, oh, okay, that's what that was. I should have known, because it's not like it's an earthquake or something that's eating up the world. And that's how they move, man. That's how they roll. They be burrowing underground to move from place to place. So not only are they above ground, but they're below ground. I don't think that the walkers were that. I mean, the walkers were walking in Walking Dead. They're walking and climbing and opening doors. Those are the variants. It's like here, there's variants here too. So, that's something that's even more scarier. Like, they can come up from underground. They could probably find their way into people's houses and stuff like that. So if you're trying to hide, there ain't no hiding from them. And I thought that was, because I did read some of the characters, and then I did read Annie is the name of the mother of Ellie, and I thought this lady was her, but her name is Kathleen, so that's not her. But that's the threat right now facing Joel, as they're trying to find a way to get out of there, and head down to Wyoming. They're stuck. They couldn't go around. Bunch of cars in the way, and there's a bridge there, but they got to get around. They couldn't, the rampway. Joel thought, oh yeah, we can just go around, and then go around this ramp, go around this tunnel, go up the rampway, and in minutes we'll be heading down the road. And then they run into that one guy, ends up being bandits, and now their plans are pretty much thwarted right now, and then they just have to figure out a plan. But I really, really like this episode. There was some action in it. There was some skirmishes. There was some, trading of gunfire. Some action sequences in this thing. We haven't seen the infected yet, in the sense that in a few episodes now we haven't seen, well, we actually did last season. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe this one we haven't seen it. The last one, yeah, of course we did. Or did we? But this is how invested I am in the characters, is because I remember. That's what I remember. I remember Bill and Frank from the last one, and I remember how they're focusing more on Ellie and Joel, and I appreciate it because they're trying to build their, relationship. They're trying to show the continuing, just being closer and closer, like a daughter and a, father and daughter. But to him, he's just cargo. We're not related, she says. But yeah, you're just cargo. And I guess he's doing that because maybe he doesn't want him to grow feelings for her as that she could be like a daughter to him, because remember how he lost his daughter. It's very, very tragic. I don't think he wants to get too close, because then what if something happens to Ellie? That's the thing. But a very good episode. A lot of I'm sure people at this point probably want more of the infected, more of the getting. They showed the next episode. You see a little bit more of Sam and Henry, and then you see that huge infected. When they're, remember how they're what they morph into, and they're like, looks like damn a cauliflower fucking thing. How it's spread out in their face and all that. There's a huge hulking. Looks like the Thing from Fantastic Four. he's that big. He look like that. He's built like that. He looks like that. But he has that weird face that they and that weird head that they got, that flayed out kind of thing like this. And it looks pretty scary. I've seen it in trailers, and you've seen snaps of that, pictures. It looks pretty intense, and all you see Joel do is yell run, and then you see Ellie running, shooting behind her, and God, that episode looks good. It looks like that's probably going to be the one that's going to be packed with action, non-stop action. Look, remember when episode 1? It was banger, back to back, wall to wall action. It was just non-stop. It was so great. And I like how they're doing these character-driven ones, and they're focusing on characters and relationships, building that up so that we can kind of feel what they're feeling. And I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to make us invest our time into these characters so that if something happens to them, it's going to hit us even harder. It's like what they did with the daughter of Joel, and then that was pretty tough to take, man. When those of us were invested and going, oh, this is really just a sweet thing here, him and his daughter and stuff like that, and we're invested in her. We grow to love her little by little, and then all of a sudden she's taken from the show, taken from us. But I enjoyed this episode, like I said. And this is episode 4, and episode 5 is going to be coming around next week, and I cannot, I cannot wait. This is such a great show, and everybody's all about it. Everybody's all for it. Yeah, there's probably some haters out there, but then again, no show is really perfect when it comes to that. You're not going to please everybody, but when it comes to video game adaptations, this, show really, really does take the cake. It really does, it really just, did a good job. And with the changes they make, they still have connections to the video game, following certain storylines, but they enhance it by adding this and adding that. Perry's an all new original character. I believe Kathleen is too for this show. And the thing about it, like I said, is that the fact that he is, what do you call it? The guy that plays the actor that plays him is the one who voiced Tommy in the video game. So that's actually pretty good that it's connected that way. And so he was even excited too when he was, talking in that inside the episode. He really was excited that he was back, and he gets to explore another character and gets to play another character. And that's always cool that you can kind of do that. Even if you don't play the original character, you're brought back to kind of give a different perspective and a different character. And that's pretty cool. But anyway, that's all I can pretty much say about this episode. Like I said, I enjoyed it. And let's go. Well, that's it. That's how I can end it on that point. For those of you who stopped by and checked out this video, I appreciate it. Thanks for your support. And in closing, as always, take care.